3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Luke Henry, after kicking Monarch's ass to the depths of space, is back on Earth. And now he's looking to save the world from the Fourth World Foundation. Sure, he had help from Penumbra before, but she's not helping him this time. He's got to face it on his own. Look at these four people. He's coming for a villain known as Adonis. He'll do it. You'll be there. Back it now. First Man 2, Learning Curve.
Yes, First Man 2 Learning Curve. He'll do it. You'll be there and back it now. First Man 2 Learning Curve. AJ Tom, first one here. Looking forward to you guys trashing this movie. How do you know?
Maybe we loved it.
Maybe. I mean, just because I dozed off for a few minutes. What's up, Hyper Kaiju? It was like 10 minutes. I don't think I missed anything. That's right. Thank you for popping the link. Back First Man 2 Learning Curve now. $13 away from 37K. So that's one backer or two people buying me a beer each. We're on early today. We're only going to work. So here's the plan for today.
We got a special plan.
We got a special plan. It's a twofer. We're streaming now until about 4:45. So for a half hour. And then we're going to bounce off and then come back on at 5 o'clock because we have special guest Bob McLeod joining us for the hour to talk about his career in comics, what he's up to now. And, Dennis being the huge X-Men fan he is, we'll probably geek out on him a little bit. So that's what we're doing. And we're going to bounce out so we can have a little pre-show and talk to Bob and stuff before we go live again.
TV. Right, you get to run out, run to the bathroom, grab a beer, and come back and join us for part 2.
Exactly. Aloha, Joe.
Joe's
How
in the
are
house.
you? Always is. He says Eternals are eternally bad and eternally long. But first, we're to new comics. But before we get into the screen sharing, one of us went to a convention over the weekend. Dennis was busy and couldn't go, but I represented at the Heroes Giant Size Mini Con, so I thought I'd do a little show and tell of what I got. Oh, AJ says, ask Bob to come back and fix the X-Men.
It might be too late.
It might be too late. So I got this 132 pagininos. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. 132 pages for those that don't speak that language, the love language, whatever it is.
Spanish.
Black and white reprints of some classic Kurt Swan, Murphy Anderson, Superman stuff. Like I said, black and white, and a few Animal Man stories drawn by Carmine Infantino from back in the Silver Age. Love foreign edition stuff. Picked up a book Dennis probably, I know for a fact, has. X-Men 76, reprinting the first appearance of Banshee with a great Gil Kane cover.
Good comic.
I love me Banshee. I had this book as a kid. So I'm actually surprised I got rid of it, but I have it again. Love the Banshee, so that reprints his first appearance. I saw this and had to have it. It was only $1. Captain America defeats the asthma monster. You know, I've got asthma, and if there's an asthma monster and anybody's going to kick his ass, it's Captain America. That's who. And it's drawn by my friend Alex Saviuk from the 80s, so had to pick that up.
That's a cool comic. I don't even think I have one of those. That's a cool one.
It cost me $10, and I'll sell it to Dennis for $5.
It says $1.
Don't believe every price tag.
It says $1. Wow.
It also says Fred, whatever.
Fred's a buck.
Picked up off my wish list, World's Finest, 287. You're like, what's so special about 287? I'll tell you. Trevor Von Eden artwork. This book came out in the 80s. Trevor's style in the 80s was just very, he did a lot of cool design on the pages, and the style he was drawing in back then was a lot kind of looser and just had this feeling of movement throughout his page layouts and stuff. He also did a Batman annual around the same time, which was just fantastic. I never knew about this book. I found it online, put it on my wish list, and found it at the show. Says $4, but the dude was selling everything half off. So I got it for $2. $2. Action Comics $3.96, $6. Look at that, Superman in a wheelchair. And I got this. Go ahead.
I actually used to have that book back when I was a kid, but I wrote on my book because what does the sign say, Andy?
Help the needy.
Yeah, I had taken a marker and turned it to nerdy.
Oh.
On mine I had as a kid, I said help the nerdy, N-E-R. Just saying, I remember that book.
So the reason I got this is because this is a story. This came out in the early 70s or late 60s, but the story takes place in the 90s. And it's basically whatever happened to Superman. So Jimmy Olsen's an old dude now. Superman lost his powers and he's rolling around in a wheelchair. But it's the fact that it takes place in the 90s and how they interpret what the 90s would be back when this came out in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. So I thought that was cool. Plus, once again, great artwork by Kurt Swan, Murphy Anderson. And that has a cover by Carmine Infantino and Murphy Anderson. I also got Flash 200 because I have 196, 97, 98, 99. And now I've got Flash 200, another one with a cover by Carmine Infantino and Murphy Anderson, inside by Irv Novick and Murphy Anderson. So that was a good one that I wanted to get. This is what I call my birthday book. It is Wonder Woman 186. This came out in November 1969. The cover date is February, but it actually came out in November of 1969. So this came out the month I was born, 52 years ago. Had to get that. Hold on, let's see. Hyper Kaiju says, Surprise Soups isn't in a wheelchair nowadays. Yeah, right. Dennis, ask Andy if he ever drew in a comic book when he was a kid. No, actually, I never did. No, I never did, actually. Never wrote on him either, Dennis.
So speaking of Superman, the rumors are that they're going to kill Superman off again.
We can get there. Another X-Men, 42. Let's see, right? Yep, issue 42 has a great Angel-focused story by Don Heck pencils, George Tuska inks. The splash page with the Angel is really cool. I dig that. X-Men 53, first appearance of Onslaught, which I'm amazed I don't have because I bought X-Men during this time and Andy Kubert drew it. So I don't know why I don't have this, but oh well, I do now. Fills a little hole in the collection. And last but not least, Reprint, X-Men number 60, the Jcpenney edition.
Yeah, baby.
And now you're going, what the hell's a Jcpenney edition? Well, Dennis can tell you. Dennis, go ahead and tell him.
Jcpenney reprinted them. They had a couple of them, and I picked mine up just to.
But what did they sell them for? So it wasn't 15 cents like it says.
No, it was a thing that they had. It was a special that they had in the stores back when Jcpenney actually had their mail away catalog. Now I was never able to get them back in the day, but I have since picked up. I picked mine up at Heroes actually. They had Jcpenney reprint. Some people collect the Mark Jeweler. Some people collect the Jcpenney reprints. I collect them all. There's the Marvel Legend ones. So it's just another reprint. So it's fantastic. I love that. I saw that today and I was like, oh, that one's near and dear to my heart. That's
Me
awesome.
too. Do I have the extra large comic where Carmine shows you? Yes, I do. It's a tabloid size. And Carmine takes you through his steps on how to draw the Flash. That X-Men's the first cameo of Onslaught. Oh, it's a full 2-page spread shot of Onslaught. So yes, it is. It sells for $20. I got 2 for $10. The guy was having a sale. So I got this and that X-Men Jcpenney edition for $20 total.
That's a good price. I
Instead
paid
of
$20 just for the one.
That's
So
right.
That's a good price.
I'll sell you mine for $25.
I already got it now, so I'm
Yeah,
good.
don't you want 2 of them?
Nah,
Mine's
not for
probably in
that
better
price.
condition.
Nope.
Yeah.
I can already see it.
No, it is.
Nope.
So that's that. Those are the books I got from the convention this past weekend. Pretty happy with my haul.
Now, we had a little news come in, so I went to go pick up my large stack of books this week, but it wasn't so large. Why, you
That's
might
what
ask?
she said.
A ransomware attack is
What?
delaying comic book shipments in the United States, which of course hit us because it hit the Baltimore. On Sunday, Maryland-based Diamond Comics distributors reported it suffered a ransomware attack that temporarily took down the company's website and disrupted its ability to process customer orders. Due to the system issues we're experiencing, some customers will not get their books for the November 10th, and they will be delayed. And of course, what that means is Marvel book shipped, DC book shipped, but all the cool independent stuff that I really want, Diamond didn't ship anything. He's got no notice of even shipping labels, no nothing. So I don't know if it really was a ransomware attack. Who the hell wants to ransomware
do you think
that?
Do you think it's a ransomware attack? Do you think, let's go conspiracy, that Diamond is just having problems and it's like...
That was my first thought.
What do you think so I'm sure Diamond with Marvel and DC pulling out isn't...
It's money issues.
Right. Is having problems, but...
I don't know.
To the extent of not being able to ship books?
Could it really be...
No, I don't need these.
A ransomware? It is possible, but I'm looking at this going, out of all the things that ransomware is going to attack to try and get money or a ransom, I don't think a struggling, failing comic book distributor is going to be on the top of their list to get anything. So I kind of call crap on that. However, it could be true. So I'm not going to make any actual real statements.
Joe says, speaking of X-Men, which are you guys, Team Jean Grey or Team Emma Frost? Team Jean Grey, all out. Emma Frost to me will always be a villain. The fact that she's not anymore, blah. Team Jean Grey.
Here's my issue. Jean Grey is my favorite character. Phoenix is my favorite character of all time. So she's always top. Emma is actually my number 3 behind Rogue. So unfortunately, Jean Grey will always win out, but I do like Emma.
Did the ransomware make Diamond upgrade their software before it destroyed their data? I don't know.
I don't know either. Nobody knows. So we asked the guy who owns the comic shop, and he goes, he hasn't been able to get into Diamond Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and then they announce it on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, guys, I was able to put up the quick flips from my Marvel titles and stuff, but that's all I got. Nothing else. Probably next week I'm going to have a super huge week.
Dennis likes the X ladies, if you know what I mean. I know what you mean.
Psylocke is number 4. So, again, you're right there.
So we do, some stuff came out. This is an Andy one. I got one book this week, so really didn't affect me much. I got Spider-Man starting with 75. It was a new story arc. I like Pat Gleason's artwork. That's why I picked it up. And I like the story. So I was like, okay, got 75. It's coming out weekly. Got 76, 77. Obviously, they screwed up. This was supposed to be last week. It came out this week. Pat did the first 2 issues. Now Sarah Pacelli's on as the artist. Maybe they're bouncing back and forth. I'm not sure. I do like Sarah's artwork, though. So, if they're going to switch artists in a storyline, at least they're doing it to where, in my mind, it makes sense. So I'm good with that. So anyhow, and Art Adams covers, can't go wrong there. So every book after this will be a Dennis book. But there's not that many.
There's not.
Oh, look, it's an X book.
Excalibur.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boy, it just makes me long for the days of the Ebony Blade.
The Ebony Blade. So
Hmm.
Excalibur, we knew Dennis would get that. Hellions, another X book with who the hell's that on the cover? Who's that?
Oh, that's Nanny and what's Big Boy's name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea.
So,
But there you go.
yeah.
Let's see. Joe says, now that you said that, Logan with Gene or Scott with Gene? Scott with Gene. Come on. Classic.
Whoa. What do you mean by that?
Or do you mean Scott with Logan and they invite Gene in as
Okay,
a third
if I
party?
wasn't sitting here, I would bounce Andy out of this conversation like he does me on a regular basis.
Oh.
No, I hate Scott Summers. I've always hated Scott Summers.
He's slim, baby.
Yeah,
Slim
no,
Summers.
I like Logan much better. That whole storyline, I really would have liked to have seen that. I've never been a Cyclops, that whiny little bitch. I can't stand him half the time. And I'm like, Gene, you could do so much better. Why not Logan? I would be down that Logan aisle because I have never been a Cyclops fan. And when he died off, it was cool.
Let me guess, Dennis. Fifth favorite is Storm.
Yeah, you're right. That is.
I will take long hair Storm for the win. Dennis probably goes with the Mohawk.
However, now number 6. You guys think about who you think my number 6 is.
Nightcrawler.
And I'll give you a hint.
Kitty
It's
Pryde.
not an ex-girl.
Isis.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Alien.
Alien's been good.
Dennis has been saying Alien's been really good, so there you go. Let's see. Agree with Dennis. Cyclops is what's wrong with Boy Scouts. They just pay attention to the law. Gene should just Broom Wolverine and Cyclops and go with Puck. Yes! She could just stand there and get pleasured because Puck is so short. If you know what I mean.
You're doing a lot of inferences today.
Yes, I am.
So. I don't think so.
Let's see. After that, Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood.
Yeah, it's Deadpool. It's been fun. This one's got 3 different stories, so it's got a multitude of different writers, different artists. They all have their little takes on it. It's fun. It's been a fun book. So, yeah, it's been good. I like it.
Oh, Miss Marvel.
Okay, yes. The thing is, it's not current Miss Marvel.
Well, she's not Miss Marvel. She's Captain Marvel.
Right.
He said Miss Marvel.
Is Carol Danvers.
Right.
After she was binary, because she was really cool as binary.
Right.
And then when she became Ms. Marvel with the sash in that outfit.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
that outfit, I think it was Ms. Marvel 21 that she gets the sash. That Ms. Marvel would be my number 6 on the list. So very good. That was a really good guess because, yeah, current Ms. Marvel sucks because she's Captain Marvel now. She sucks. And current Ms. Marvel sucks too, so no, because she's a kid.
Oh, all right, fine.
Andy likes that, though.
Nope. Avengers Tech.
Yeah.
Tech on Avengers.
Mainly,
it's a limited series.
Yeah, it's a limited series, but the art's fantastic.
Yeah, it's very anime-looking artwork. It is really nice artwork. So
yeah, so I've been getting it just for that.
There you go. And now we're going to talk about Eternals. Dun,
so
dun,
I am going to make a guess just from the pre-comments that not everybody that's viewing us today liked the Eternals. I'm shocked.
I tell you. Shocked. Dennis, 7 is Burned She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
She's
great. That would actually be another good. You would be right with that. Burned She-Hulk.
Oh, wait. Burned She-Hulk, as in B-U-R-N, you're saying? Or
no, John.
Yeah.
Oh, no, his She-Hulk's fantastic.
Oh, it is.
Sensational She-Hulk.
Rashad, thank you for joining the show. Thank you. We always like seeing a new commenter. I have zero interest in seeing this movie. Is there even an Eternals comic being printed? There is, and it was boring AF.
You started picking it up too, didn't you?
Dennis picked it up for, I think, 3 issues.
I dropped it after 3.
I dropped it after 1 because I was bored. So
I was hoping the movie was going to be better than the comic book.
So the movie is 2 hours and 47 minutes long.
About an hour and 15 minutes too long.
Yeah, they could have cut out a lot of stuff. I'll be honest, I did. I wasn't joking. I did fall asleep for about 10 to 15 minutes.
About 10.
About 10.
But he doesn't snore, so it didn't really distract from the music.
I think it was in the first hour I fell asleep.
It was in one of the flashbacks.
Yeah, it was in a flashback. They said, basically, they were like, we need to go get Ajax. And I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna go get Ajax, played by what's her face here?
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek.
Who looked great.
And I'm like, that's cool. And then they did this flashback, and that's when I fell
highlights.
asleep.
Let's talk some highlights. We need to start off positive. So highlights of this movie. It's beautiful. It is beautifully shot. What did he say? Neil Gaiman.
He says, I actually read this. I've got Neil Gaiman and John Romita Jr. couldn't even make the Eternals interesting. I didn't mind it. The original Jack Kirby stuff I also have in trade, and that just, so far nobody's held a candle to that stuff.
I agree.
Visually it was stunning.
It was beautiful.
It was beautifully shot.
Their costumes sucked, but
okay. I don't think the costumes sucked. I would like to have seen, for instance, you look at Icarus here, and he's wearing all blue with hints of gold. And my two things: why couldn't there be just a little bit of red, just like his costume?
Come on, he didn't have a little bit. He had the nice circles. Icarus had the big circles that was on there, and it just defined his costume.
I know. And the other thing, too, is Angelina Jolie, they were like, well, she's playing Thena. We can make her a blonde. Well, why couldn't they make Icarus a blonde? I mean, come on. It's small, but for us diehard Marvel fans, why not? And then, honestly, I don't like the gender bend they did on Ajax and Makari.
It was unnecessary.
It was totally unnecessary. Oh, Ajax is supposed to basically be the big time leader. Oh, but this is current Disney, current Marvel. The big time leader can't be a guy. It's got to be a female. Now, I love Salma Hayek. She's hot. She's awesome. And you know what? Makari still could have been the female gender switch they did with her. I think Ajax should have been a dude. There's nothing wrong with putting a movie out in this day and age where the strong leader is supposed to be a man like it was in the books. But no, we can't have nice things.
Nope. Positive number 2. Angelina Jolie looked the best that she has in a long time as a blonde.
She looked great in all her close-ups and stuff. I was skeptical about the blonde, but man, she looks fantastic as a blonde. I do think it's funny because I don't think Angelina Jolie is known for a big rack, but I love when this costume, her chest piece is a big rack. Like, I have a feeling that her actual boobages are kind of swimming inside that chest piece. Maybe not.
Don't know. We could call up Brad Pitt, see if he's around and ask him.
That's right. Call up my buddy Brad and find out. Just a side note, because Salma Hayek, let's just say, she's very well endowed up top, and that is all Salma Hayek in that outfit she's wearing.
Yeah, so the pluses were the visuals were great. Angelina, Selma looked great. The soundtrack wasn't bad, and the scenery, because they do a number of doo-doos. They do a number of jumps into other parts of the world where you get to see some of the different cultures, which I know is part of their diversity. But it was beautifully shot. There was nothing on there I went, wow, that looked really horrible. The CGI was good. So, yeah, there's the positives.
And I did see Angelina Jolie running through Tomb Raider. That's why I'm on the fence. I can't remember how voluptuous she is in the torso region, shall we say. The boobages and cleavagers.
Well,
I don't honestly
Tomb Raiders,
remember.
They were very pointy.
Right. So I don't honestly remember. This could be her. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I like how the movie starts off. There will be some spoilers. It starts off in, 5000 BC. So that's cool. Shows a little bit of their origin. They came to Earth, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. But then they started doing the thing where, hey, throughout the movie, let's cut back to different areas of time to show what the Eternals were doing during different events. You know, one of the areas of time is Hiroshima, which was interesting. But at the same time, it was, it was Druid. That's this dude right here, isn't it? Druid? Him?
No, that's Gilgamesh.
That's not Gilgamesh.
Oh, no, Gilgamesh
is here. This is Druid.
I was looking on that one.
Yeah, no, this is Druid.
Yep.
And Druid's in Hiroshima, and, you know, he's like the technical guy that can try to help people advance if they want.
He tries to advance the population beyond their means at a super fast pace. And, you know, he had given them enough tech to create the 2 atomic bombs. They dropped them, obviously based after real history, and then he regrets doing it.
Yeah, boo-hoo. Well, you know what, pal? It was for the greater good, so stop with the boo-hooing. Because that's what annoys me about the whole Hiroshima thing is. Was it a tragedy for Japan? Of course it was. We nuked them. But how many lives were saved because we were basically like, okay, this isn't going to stop unless we do this.
They figured it saved 2 million lives from the invasion of mainland Japan back in the day.
Right.
So, yes. But with that being said, they keep doing these flashbacks. And again, this one actually had a little bit of meaning because he was indirectly, but responsible for the cause of this.
Right.
Unlike most of them, you got to see, get to see some India. You got to see down in Central America, et cetera, et cetera. But there was no point other than to say, we've been around for 7,000 years. We've just been hanging out and living with you guys. They addressed it through verbiage. They addressed it in the story. They didn't really need to keep cutting back to these because it added nothing to the movie. And honestly, most of it was a sleeper. And Andy can attest to that.
I can, because for 10 minutes I dozed off during one of those flashbacks. Then they, the whole gist is basically that they find out that they're not living beings, I guess you could say, that they're made, kind of like in the book, in the Eternals book.
Yep.
Way back in the Jack Kirby run, you find out that they're basically made, and then they die, and then they can just be made again. And I want to say in the Jack Kirby one, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I read it, that like in this movie, they would have not remembered their past life, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they're basically rebooted. They start fresh, just like a robot. You make a new robot, you start them fresh, you wipe their memory, and there you go. And that's basically
you guys are dangerously close to becoming as boring as this movie. You shut your mouth.
Well, it's hard. Even this whole thing this movie was really a snooze fest. So now the good news, I guess, if you want to say it, there was some humor.
There's always the Marvel humor, which is
Kumail.
Nice.
I mean, he's your jokester. He's your guy from the other movies that always likes to crack jokes. And a lot of his jokes fell. They fell fine. Most of the other ones did not.
Yeah.
So there was some humor to it. I mean,
he's not even in this picture. I just realized that.
Yeah, the guy who plays Gilgamesh really reminded me a lot of Wong. A lot that, with what they did. It was, overall, the movie itself was all right. The shots of the Celestials were cool.
Yeah.
We did get to find out, some of the background of the Celestials, which was cool. Arishem, we get to find out about Arishem, the judge, a little bit. And that's cool. And I think they held fairly true because I'm a big fan of the Celestials. I like the Marvel space stuff. So I liked how they looked. I liked their interactions with them. I did kind of like the ending, that, you defied us. And basically, though, you killed off a new Celestial, which I didn't think they were going to take so easily. But you'll have to be judged later. Okay. So Earth's going to be judged. We'll see.
There she is, looking fine.
Yep.
Looking fine.
She looked good. And she basically has Marvel's current version of PTSD. So she was an interesting character who was in and out throughout the movie. There weren't a lot of real big highlights, honestly, in this. It was, you couldn't look at the movie and say, pick out everything that was just crap, because not everything was crap. But there was nothing that stood out other than, the CGI'd Celestials and a few interesting things. To me, the after credit scenes were more enjoyable than the movie itself.
Yeah, the after credit scenes were good. The second one, 2 after credit scenes after main credits. They do one. Spoiler alert! If nobody wants to know, tune off in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert! Pip the Troll. Woo! So that was cool seeing Pip the Troll.
Yep.
The CG on him didn't look as good as other CG creatures that Marvel's done, so that was a little weird. I didn't think it was as strong as some other CG Marvel's done. But the big spoiler, which they really kept under wraps, Star Fox, Thanos' brother, debuts, played by Harry Styles from One Direction. Holy crap. I thought the costume design for Star Fox looked good. It was close enough to the comic books where I was like, oh my God, that's Star Fox. And, it was cool. Harry Styles looked good as Star Fox. And honestly, Star Fox is a play.
And Arrow's, his ability really is, he can teleport, he finds people. So it was kind of cool how they just popped in while they were on their ship and stuff like that and came through. And I'm like, that actually looked pretty cool. Again, it was a little more exciting than most of the movie. So a thumbs up for the first after credit scene.
And in the second after credit scene, we deal with the Black Knight, who's obviously in the movie. He's what's the actor's name? Kit Harington.
Yeah, Kit Harington.
Kit Harington from Game of Thrones
who's my wife's favorite.
Is the Black Knight. He did nothing as in Black Knight stuff in the movie.
No, he hinted Dane, so you knew his name was Dane. You found out it was Dane Whitman. And, then he's like, I got to tell you something about my past, my true family. And then he never gets to really tell it. The after credit scene, he's got the ebony blade. You can see he's touching it. And then there's a voice that talks to him. And we're like, oh.
Yeah, a voice from off panel says, are you sure you really want to do that? Something like that. But it was so quick. I couldn't tell if it was Samuel Jackson or not.
That's what we were debating. So needless to say, it was cool. I mean, Kit was an okay boyfriend during it. And then my wife was like, you know nothing, Jon Snow. And because that's her favorite. And of course, Ygritte was my favorite from Game of Thrones.
That's right.
But that's pretty sad to me when that was kind of the highlight. The special effects were cool. But Cgc rating.
Cgc rating, I give this I guess I go 7, flat 7 on it.
Wow.
Is that gracious?
Yeah, I'm a 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to go 4.5, but it was a 5. It looked good. It was just way too long, and it was just so unnecessary. And there were so many aspects that I was just completely bored with. And it did nothing for me. What do you say?
Eternals is simply bad based on the fact that deviated so far from source material. Any cool previews? No, none we haven't seen.
Clifford, believe it or not, out of all the previews,
Clifford the big red
dog.
Yeah.
That actually looked fun. And out of all it was 26 minutes of previews.
Yeah.
So many previews, and we've seen all of them before. But Clifford the Big Red Dog, it is definitely, if you guys got kids out there, it's adorable looking. I actually said out of all these movies that we already know we are either going to see or not see, that one piqued my interest. I know I'll be taking to my niece and nephew to see it.
Clifford's a kaiju movie as far as I'm concerned. I hear you. Hey guys, I'm going to cut it. We got to bounce because we got to get to the green room for Mr. Bob McLeod. We'll be back at 5 o'clock.
So in 10 minutes.
With our special guest, Bob McLeod. Please hang out and join us for that one. We'll be logging off, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes with our guest, Bob McLeod. Bye.